When you are faced with the truth about yourself, what will you do? That's the question Jet Callahan, owner of the largest motorcycle dealership in Arizona, must confront as rumors of shady sales tactics at his store spread. Despite owning a storied legacy built by his father, Jet begins to feel like he's losing sight of the core values his father instilled in him. With employees focused solely on profiting from deceptive schemes, Jet decides to go undercover and uncover the truth himself, determined not to let his father's legacy be tarnished. But when he witnesses a desperate man unable to afford a motorcycle for his son's chemotherapy, Jet realizes a truth he didn't want to face. He, too, is contributing to that corruption. Amid anger and regret, Jet must make a critical decision. Will he continue to pretend, playing the role of the profit-first heir, or will he stand up, confront his past, and reclaim his honor and that of his father's dealership? This story is not just one man's struggle with his own mistakes, but also a journey to rediscover true values in life. Join me on this dramatic journey to see if Jet can salvage his father's legacy or if he will continue to lose everything due to past mistakes. Jet Callahan stood at the edge of his motorcycle dealership, Thunder Road Motors, disguised in a worn leather jacket and scuffed boots. At 52, his salt and pepper beard and weary eyes made him look like a down-on-his-luck biker, the very image he was trying to portray. The dealership, his father's legacy, had grown into the largest in Arizona under his watch, but rumors of shady sales tactics had been gnawing at his conscience. Today, he would find out the truth for himself. The showroom buzzed with gleaming chrome and eager salesmen. Jet lingered near a vintage Harley, observing his staff. His stomach clenched as a salesman, Dex, a smooth talker with a diamond stud earring, approached him. "Looking for a ride, buddy?" Dex asked. "We've got deals so good, you'll think we're losing money." Dex's smile was all teeth, no sincerity. Jet feigned haggling over a price he already knew by heart, but as Dex rattled off hidden fees and mandatory add-ons, Jet's chest tightened. This wasn't how his father had run things. Before he could react, two men walked up behind him, their voices rough with fatigue. "No way we're getting a fair deal here, Brody," the taller, thinner man in a faded army jacket muttered. His companion, Brody, a burly mechanic with grease-stained hands, shook his head. "We gotta try, Vance. My kid's got chemo. Sold the truck last week. This is all I got left." Jet froze. The words hit him like a punch. Dex approached Brody and Vance, repeating his practiced charm. Jet lingered, his heart pounding as Brody pointed to a beat-up motorcycle in the corner. "How much for that one?" he asked, his voice trembling. Dex sneered. "That old thing? $8,500, take it or leave it." Brody's face crumpled. "But the online ad said 4,000. "Ah, technical glitch." Dex shrugged. "Price got updated this morning." Jet's fists clenched. His father's motto, "Ride with honor," flashed in his mind. Before he could intervene, Vance spoke up, his voice laced with bitterness. "You're bleeding people dry. This place used to be decent. Old man Callahan would never—" "Old man Callahan is dead," Dex scoffed. "His son runs things now, and he wants profit, not parades." Jet's breath hitched. The room swam. Without thinking, Jet ripped off his sunglasses. "You're fired, Dex." The showroom froze. Dex went pale. "Mr. Callahan, I didn't—" Jet didn't let him finish. Jet's voice trembled as Dex scurried away. Jet turned to Brody and Vance. The two men stared back, dumbfounded. "The bike is yours. $4,000. No fees," Jet said. Brody's eyes welled up. I don't know how to thank you, sir." Vance crossed his arms. "Why the act? You own the place, don't you? Why pretend?" Jet hesitated, to see if my father's legacy still lived, or if I had killed it. As the paperwork was finalized, Vance lingered. "I knew your old man. He fixed my bike for free once. Said a man's worth ain't in his wallet, it's in his word." Jet's throat tightened. His father had told him those words the day he took over. Vance pulled a photo from his pocket. A younger Callahan grinned beside Vance's motorcycle. "Had this 20 years. He drove me to the hospital when my wife was dying. Never asked for a dime." Jet stared at the photo. The man in it was the father he had idolized and failed. Tears blurred his vision. "I didn't know. Maybe you stopped looking," Vance said softly. That night, Jet sat alone in his empty showroom, Vance's photo in his hands. The next morning, a new sign hung outside. Thundered Motors, where your word is your ride. Brody's son got his chemo. Vance became the shop's lead mechanic. And Jet, he spent Saturdays on the floor, listening. Life ain't about the miles you put in, his father had once said. It's about who you take with you. As engines roared outside, Jet smiled. For the first time in years, he knew exactly where he was headed. Sometimes, the road to redemption begins when we stop pretending and start listening, because the truth isn't always in the books, but in the lives we touch along the way. If this story touched your heart and left you with deep reflections on life, don't forget to share it with your friends and loved ones. Let's spread the values of honesty, resilience, and the power of change in life together. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to always be updated with inspiring stories, valuable lessons, and meaningful moments that we bring. We are not just telling stories, but also inspiring, motivating, and opening up new perspectives on life. Together, let's make each story a spreading force, helping us find better things in ourselves and in the world around us. Let's build a community where everyone can learn, change, and grow. Thank you for being with us. Wishing you always find meaningful stories. And don't forget to come back to us in the next videos. Goodbye, and see you again.